Hi everyone, today we're going to be painting this zebra in watercolors. To get started, I'll mix up my shadows or shadow colors and values by mixing French ultramarine blue with burnt sienna, and that you can create a warm grey or you can create a cooler grey by adding some more blue. And then I add a little bit of the purple tones and the blue tones into my shadows. This is a really good way of starting a painting like this because you're building up the values in the shadows. You build up depth and value there to just create that three-dimensional feel with your artwork. So shadows are a really important thing, and the reason I start with the shadows is because it kind of it's similar to sculpting, and it kind of looks like a sculpture when you finish all of these layers with the within the shadows. It kind of looks a little bit more three-dimensional. And also, as soon as you start adding the black lines onto the zebra, you can't then go in all the time and add your shadows because you may muddy up and mix up the blacks when you re-wet your paper, if you need to add more shadows at the end. So it just reduces that risk of mixing all the stripes in after you've applied the black. So now I'm just working on the ears, doing a little bit of negative painting to get the fluffy part of the ear happening there. I finished the nose and now I'm painting on the stripes, which is the fun part. Once you start to get the stripes in there, it definitely the piece kind of comes together and looks really, really lovely. I don't worry too much if I don't get all of the stripes in there exactly like the reference photo. It is quite hard sometimes to get every single little stripe in there in the right spot, especially at those funny angles there. So don't worry too much about not getting every stripe in exactly the same as your reference photo. Kind of enjoy the process. It's still going to look like a beautiful zebra at the end. Something that I like to do with the stripes is add a little bit of French ultramarine blue, or you could add the mauve as well, just to create some interest within the black. And it also helps to ensure that the black doesn't look too flat. If it's just a plain black, it can generally look a little bit too flat. So it's a good tip. So just coming to the end of painting these stripes in. If they're not dark enough, you can always go over some of the stripes again with another layer. As it dries, it will soften and lighten up, so you can always go over a little bit darker if you need to. I generally start with lighter layers and go in darker gradually. I just find that a little bit easier sometimes, or especially in such a complicated piece. It's always more enjoyable when you're not rushing it. I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to my online watercolor classes, and if you'd like to see this in real time, head over to my website where you can check out all the details for my online class subscription. Please like and subscribe for more watercolour content, and I'll see you in the next one.